This is Pete Jones, and you are listening to the Dragons Are Real podcast. Welcome to the new episode. We're going to start off today with some call-ins. Over to you guys.
Hey Pete, it's Froth. This is not your most recent episode I'm commenting on, but I'm getting caught up on your stuff and the new campaign one. So you've probably been already running some sessions, but I just wanted to say how much I enjoy Stonehell as well. Both the first book and the second book, are really affordable and so well laid out and easy to use at the table. And you can look at them and tell they're going to be easy to use, but once you start running them, it's just like butter. So easy to flip back and forth and understand with the way it breaks down the quadrants of each section of the levels, and has all the important stuff kind of set aside and laid out. And so I really am such a fan of that, and just Michael Curtis's stuff in general. And I hope your game's going great. Enjoying your stuff. See ya.
So that first one was from Jeremy Frothsof Smith from the Thought Eater podcast. Yes, Stonehell, as a GM, it's a great layout. I like that it's all contained on 2 pages. You've got the map with the key features for that level or for that area. And on the second page, you've got the room key, which is just enough information for a GM to inspire you, but not too much information that you're looking at reading all the way through it. So it gives you that opportunity to add some of your own stuff. So yeah, it's really easy to read, and at the table, as you said, this runs really buttery smooth.
Hi Pete, great episode on Metzner. Metzner was my first entry into Dungeons and Dragons. In 1985, my friend got that box set and we started playing. But English was not my native language, and I just started learning English that year. So we used translated versions of Fighting Fantasy and incorporated those rules into Dungeons and Dragons until we could understand what the real rules were. But we just kept working hard on it, and I really think that it improved my English. So that was a great start at role-playing.
And that's the first time caller to the show, Benjamin Hinnum. I hope I've got that right. It doesn't look as if Benjamin's got a podcast at the moment. Yes, I suppose for a non-English speaker, learning to role-play when you're learning a language must be difficult. If you like fighting fantasy, another suggestion I'd like to make is Troika RPG. That's by Daniel Sell. I recently purchased it. It takes fighting fantasy rules and puts on some real weird gonzo vibe on it. So check those out. So thanks for the call-ins, guys. Much appreciated. Now on with the show. One of the rules that often gets overlooked in role-playing is Encumbrance. It's usually hand-waved. I think the reason for it goes back to some of the older rules, where it was a real pain in the backside to calculate Encumbrance. Everything had a weight, and you had to add the weight of each item. So people didn't really bother with it. It was just hand-waved unless there was something really obvious that slowed someone down. One of the first systems I came across that simplified it to a great deal was the Black Hack, where you could carry a number of items equal to your strength ability. Nice and simple. I recently played Lamentations of the Flame Princess, and this has a really good encumbrance system that's very usable, and it's baked into the character sheet, so it makes it easy for the players, easy for the GM. So basically every item is one of 3 states. Every item is classified as either encumbering, non-encumbering or oversized. On your character sheet you have a number of equipment slots, and the first 5 slots you can hold does not affect your encumbrance at all. The next 5 adds +1 to encumbrance, the 5 after that adds +1 to encumbrance. So you just list the items down, and once you get to 6 you add +1 to encumbrance, when you get to 11 you add another +1 to encumbrance, and so on. Nice and simple. You also have non-encumbering equipment, and these are things like clothing, small items that aren't going to affect your encumbrance. Do not go in your equipment list, they go in a separate box from the non-encumbering equipment. Also, interestingly, leather armour goes here, so you can wear leather armour completely free and it doesn't encumber you whatsoever. Then you have items that do encumber you, like chain armour and plate armour. Again, these don't go on your equipment list, but chain armour counts as 1 towards your encumbrance, plate armour counts 2 towards your encumbrance. Nice and simple. Lastly, you have oversized items, and these are items, usually your two-handed weapons or heavy items. They still take a single slot up in your equipment list, but they also count as an extra +1 encumbrance. So your long sword goes on your equipment list, takes 1 slot, but adds +1 to your encumbrance. Small items can be grouped together as long as they're like items, so 8 arrows or 15 stones is one item and you can put it in 1 equipment slot. Then all you do is you count up how many points of encumbrance you've incurred from your armour, your items and your oversized items, and that gives you your total points in encumbrance. And if you have 0 or 1 points, you're unencumbered and can move freely. While if you get up to 5 encumbrance points, which is the maximum, you're over encumbered and you can't move. So it's really simple, you can keep an eye on it at all times, and that's it. The only other thing that you can add to that is coins. Coins, you can have a maximum of 100 coins as 1 slot, and it doesn't matter the denomination. So that's how encumbrance works in Lamentations of the Flame Princess. It's very simple. Being baked into the character sheet makes it very usable. Even the equipment lists are clever in that non-encumbered items are noted in italics and oversized items are bold italics. So even when you're looking through the equipment list, you can quickly see what encumbers you and what doesn't encumber you. Anybody else got any ideas on encumbrance and any systems that they like or they use, or do you know it altogether? Let me know. So that's it for today's show. If you want to check out the show notes, head over to my blog at dragonsarerealpodcast.tumblr.com. You've been listening to the Dragons Are Real podcast. You can contact me by leaving a message via the Anchor app or visit the podcast website petejones.neocity.org or on OSR Anchorites at the Audio Dungeon Discord. Thanks for listening. The opening music is Siesta by Desar. The closing music is Controlled Distress by BizBaz Studio.